Good afternoon and top of the day to you. Welcome to Radio Connections with Pace. Your host, Gina Pagnotta Murphy.
And Ebony Walton. I am your co-host, Vice President Pace. And this show is for City of Atlanta employees.
Why you always try to get me
That's
to...
your second piece.
You always pointing up to the teleprompter.
Because you always start wrong.
You always start wrong.
We did last week. We was fine.
Somebody please spend some money and send us a teleprompter. I'm tired of looking at this cardboard.
Anyway, finish your piece before we go on.
Okay. Let's just start over. Good afternoon and welcome to Radio Connections with Pace. I am your host, Gina Pagnotta, President of Pace. I can't stand her.
And I am your co-host, Ebony Walton, Vice President of Pace. And this show is for City of Atlanta employees.
This platform was created to bring awareness to issues within the department, good or bad, in hopes of finding a resolve. Now, are you satisfied?
Yes, but
our disclaimer in the front says that.
Can we just be professional?
Well, anyway, listen, I'm just trying to wind down, y'all, let me tell you. But we'll get to that in a minute. Oh, Lord, I had to take about 4 pills a few minutes ago. Oh, my God. Wait till we got a show for you today. But anyway.
We had a different show lined up.
Yeah, but after what we went through this morning.
That's scrapped.
We gonna tell you the real deal. So let's talk about it. Anyway, before we get into that, shout outs to some of our sick and people that's had some injuries and stuff, because we always do that. We like to give them our blessings that they get a speedy recovery. We have Tamara, her sister is ill, and we keep her in prayers, please, for her sister to have a speedy recovery. And Melissa Jordan, one of our own employees, and her and her family dealing with some illness in their family, and we pray on them for a speedy recovery as well. And anybody else out there, you have anybody that contact you?
I have we have one of our members, Miss L. Williams McCoy. Her aunt passed, so they put her to rest, I believe, yesterday. So they're traveling back from home, Chicago, and I believe Chicago probably. Then we have, I have an aunt that's in the hospital. She has dementia. Then she has a lot of other health issues too. And then my godmom, she's not well. Well, she's well, but she's not well. She's older and she's got a lot of health issues and she just keeps falling. And yesterday she said she had a pretty good fall. So,
oh, wow.
And she just had a hip replacement.
Oh, goodness. Well, we want to keep all of our people that let us know who's having injuries or who's out sick. So again, Tamara's sister, wishing her better, speedy recovery, Melissa Jordan, and even my pastor's family in Alabama. So keep them in prayer, because Lord knows, we, with this pandemic going through, we definitely, and not all the issues as people are sick is related to pandemic. No, but we just want you to be mindful that it's still out there and wear your mask and be safe, whether you've been vaccinated or not. And we'll get into that a little later. Our inspiration of the week that I just want to say, be kind and be respectful, no matter what. Just please do your best to be kind and be respectful. It's a spiritual warfare out here right now. So you do your best to stay the way you need to stay versus anybody else. So please remember that. Movie of the week.
Movie of the week. So I haven't watched an actual movie of the week, but I've been watching YouTube. Kevin Hart, he has a talk show, Heart to Heart.
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of them.
And
that Don Cheadle one was a trip.
That's what made me watch it. I didn't even know he had a thing until somebody sent the link to the Don Cheadle.
He be getting drunk, drinking wine on
because his eyes get all. He get the talking and.
But what was that one that he said? You tell it. What was that one about Don Cheadle?
Don Cheadle was talking, and Don Cheadle said, "Well, I'm 56 years old." And Kevin Hart looked at him. What Kevin Hart say?
I can't say the word he said, but he said, "What?"
Yeah.
And so
Don looked at him. He looked so sad. Like,
and Kevin said, "Oh, I'm sorry,
man. That ain't what I meant. I meant that I love." He said, "No, that ain't what you didn't say it like that. There's certain ways to say it, but go
you
check
are
it
old.
Out.
You are old.
That's what he meant to say.
You old.
That's what
I'm 64. But I feel old sometimes till I get around you because you silly. But anyway,
you're sillier than me. No, wait. So on the ride over this morning, where we was coming from, you want to talk about the ride? First of all, it was raining, so I'm driving like I should drive, cautiously.
Okay, well.
Ebony, you think you can drive a little faster?
Um,
In the point, if y'all know how it was raining, it was pouring down raining. But then when I pick it up, you know, I got a little small Tonka car.
Real
Tonka car. So as we drive, and the water's on both sides, and when you slide through that water, it comes over my car. Now she want to scream, can you slow down? You want me to go fast? You want to go slow? I don't know what you want.
Look, first, she talking about me, but look, first of all, you know it's pouring down rain, and this is what she do. I'm in the front seat. I'm a passenger. I'm leaning all in there trying to see out the window. You know why? Because she don't cut on her wipers. She cuts the wipers on after the window gets full of water. Then swipe it one time.
The noise makes me upset.
Then she talking about the noise maker go tick tock, tick tock.
It makes a lot of
that
noise.
Sound like a little PTSD if you ask me. So maybe she needs some help. But don't kill me in a car accident because you just want the wipers to go.
Every now and then when it gets too bad and you can't see, then I cut them on.
So talk about me.
I was wondering why you were sitting so close.
And then to the door. And then I'll jump out. But and then we get up to City Hall and she got to pull over. There's a car length.
That's too much. They don't need to know all that.
The little car, one of them split, you know one of them cars that split in half? You split the car in half. That's the kind of car she got, one of them, half of a car. And we pull up to a parking space, and it's a car length and a half. She can't park. It took her 5 times to move her car right. I said, Ebony, your butt of the car's still in the street. I said, oh, take the wheel, Jesus. We about to get knocked over in this little half of a car. What kind of car is it?
It's a little car. We'll say it's a little car.
Listen, if you take a Toyota Corolla, cut it in half, and the first part of that car belongs to her. Okay?
Good afternoon, Tamara. Not Studgy.
Oh, hey, Tamara. Welcome. Anyway, the song of the week, and you'll understand why we want to use this song of the week, is called...
What you got for the song? Tell us why you have the song of the week. Just a little brief.
Not right now. You can go on and play it because this getting ready to get deep. We're going to talk about this today.
All right.
I said I was. Check it out.
To do that.
La, 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 la.
I just want to hear chorus.
We don't own the rights to this music, so. All right, you gotta cut it off before we get sued. Anyway, we don't own the rights to that song, but I had to play that song for y'all. Cause listen here, let me tell you what we're getting ready to go into.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, you guys, listen here. We were invited, Pace was invited today, this morning, to attend a, what do you call that? Where they announce the official candidacy that they're running for mayor. And we were invited to come out, and we understood that I think Kasim Reed was he was going to do his announcement.
Yes.
And Felicia Moore was going to do her announcement. And we kind of went to check out both. You know, we had met with Felicia. She called, and her cabinet called for us, and you know, asking for our endorsement. And we said, well, we need to do some interviews, and we were waiting around, you know, to be fair with everybody. But we haven't heard from anybody other than her on several occasions. So Ebony and I met with her and her team separately. And then we had a executive board meeting with members of our of union that met with her on Saturday, and had a very big discussion. We had a moderator. We asked her a lot of questions about her platform for city employees. We were very, very pleased.
Yes.
And after that, we just had our meeting and discussion, and we thought about, you know, should we endorse her? Should we not endorse her? We were still talking about it. And so we were on the fence, and we were kind of in the middle and give everybody a little opportunity and a chance. And so we went downtown today because we knew Kasim was going to be there, and we wanted to see what.
I was so scared. I haven't been so scared in my life.
Let me tell y'all.
I've never been that scared in my life.
It's raining. I'm already fussing at her about her windshield wipers. Okay. And we thought we were running late. And so that's why I was telling, can you speed up a little bit? If you were scared to drive, I could drive.
But we were late. No.
We were late.
Why were we running late though, Gina?
Because
you don't want.
We need.
I called her at 6:30.
Well, I was hoping,
in the morning.
I was hoping
so you can be on time. You still didn't get to my house until after 7.
Well,
exactly. So that's why we late. Gina.
But we made it on. Well, we were late.
I'm always on time. She's always late.
We made it on time, even though we were late.
Yeah.
But we're still on time. We was on time enough to walk into some mess.
Ooh, Lord.
And if I wasn't a Christian lady, sometime I would have told you the real mess we walked into.
I was so scared.
Ebony, her first rodeo. So I
didn't know what Gina had me coming to. She just said, hey, let's go.
I didn't know. All I knew, Ebony said, I thought we was going to have some cupcakes and cake and ice cream. Huh? And we was going to be indoors and have some cupcakes and a tea party.
Oh my goodness. Let me listen.
When we got out there, Cassine Reed's rally of people was over there shouting. All of them was under the Trinity sign.
This is what we walked
my
into.
mouth, I had my mask on, but if you could see my mouth.
Let me play this.
Okay, play it. This is what we walked into.
You can't. I don't know.
OMG.
It was people everywhere. Everywhere.
And we got pulled and like it was sucked into because I was getting ready to stand outside in the rain. I was like, I'm not going up under there. I'm not going up under. You know how freaky I am.
I slid to a back corner.
I tried to knock on the glass, you guys, to get inside City Hall, and the officer that normally was waving. How you doing? Let me in here. I want to get in.
I went to a slide corner.
All I thought about COVID.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, get me out of here.
What did Gina get me into this time?
Ebony fell in the bag. I mean, these people were aggressive.
Very aggressive. They wouldn't let anybody speak. You would have thought that they were there for Cassine instead. Well, they were. But you would have thought the whole entourage was there just for Cassine. They overcrowded,
bomb rushed.
Gosh, it was so
no mask on. Hardly any of them had masks on. Just bum rushed us. And when Miss Moore came out to speak, and I have to give her some accolades because homegirl held it together.
She did.
Lord, I'd have lost my cool. And she came out. They didn't even give her the respect to let her talk in front of the cameras. Just for 5 minutes. All she was going to do, just like Cassine, was going to hold her paper up and say, I'm officially running for mayor. That's it. And they wouldn't, the more she talked, the louder they got. And it was almost like pushing into the thing. And I was like, I had my boots, look, I had my boots on. And I was like, is these boots are ready to kick some booty or do I need to run? I didn't know what I was getting ready to do, but I felt overwhelmed. I was disappointed. I'm like, Cassine.
It wasn't called for. It was very
and I know he's going to say that he wasn't there yet and that his people, they were just overzealous. Come on.
But then someone sent me a link about him speaking somewhere and he was talking about how women should be respected and what we're going to go back to. Like chivalry isn't dead anymore. But this is what he spoke up and said.
Everything else on the 101st exam.
Play that again.
It's on YouTube. I mean,
that's just your finger. That ain't no.
Was that what they hit it? Hold on.
It's gonna be on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay.
And everything else on the 101st exam. We're going back to being in Atlanta.
That's right.
We're going back to having a cold.
Okay.
That's right.
Women don't get touched in Atlanta.
That's right.
Women get to pump gas when they walk in Atlanta.
Women.
Say what he said about women?
He said women don't get to pump gas. He going back to the regular, I guess, the good man code. But then
he going back to the good man code.
Good man code. But then this is what happened. I don't know.
Good man code.
Good man code.
You didn't respect that woman that came out there today.
That was horrible.
Politics is politics, and we get it. but it was terribly wrong. I mean, they should have given her, and I wonder, is he going to do that for everybody else?
Probably not.
But you know, him and Felicia's been having.
They've always had a relationship
because
like that.
she's always been very transparent.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And she was the only one really strong and brave enough to stand up against Mr. Reed when his things that she felt was not right and some things wasn't right.
That's right.
And you know, and they've always had this kind of push relationship. And she's the only one that was trying to be transparent against him, you know, and that was why I said that song today. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we have some kind of solidarity, some kind of respect this go round, to give everyone an opportunity to speak, to give everybody an opportunity, a fair way to run for an election. Let's be fair. Politics, you got your, you know, you're going to be ugly. We know dog eat dog and all of that, but you don't have to be a bully and you don't have to be intimidating. I was scared.
I've never been in this situation
and
like that.
You know, I'm always outspoken and I'm always speaking, but I just literally felt very uncomfortable. And that wasn't my first time. I've been with Mr. Reed. I've been for him. I've been on the opposite side of him with Caesar Mitchell. And that was never that ugly. But for Felicia, that was quite ugly to me. And so when I started, and it went on the news viral real quickly,
Really?
Because we started getting calls from our members like, Gina, what was that about? Oh my God. And you know, are you safe? Are you okay? I'm seriously. And so I'm saying, you know, this is what you want to bring back again to the city of Atlanta for employees. I'm not a city of Atlanta taxpayer. Okay. I work for the city, but we got a lot of members that's in our union and city employees that live in the city and pay taxes. And they were concerned. Is this the kind? I thought he changed because we follow him. We were on it literally on the fence. I was like, oh my God, I mean, yeah, he got some good things that was going on
back then that was good. That,
he was doing good. And in the first 4 years, he was very union friendly with Pace. The last 4 years, he kind of went another sideways, but that's okay. You can do that, you know, but he was still being fair. So we were sitting on the fence until that happened. And when we got those phone calls today and the way we felt today, we decided as a union of PACE, Professional Association of City Employees.
You ready?
Hold that thought. We are endorsing Felicia Moore for mayor. What a fight this is going to be. A big old battle. Yeah. I need my daughter to do that. She does that good.
Oh my God, this shirt is huge.
We were flabbergasted. And like my folks said, Gina, no, we already know what we want. Win or lose, we got to go with Felicia Moore. So guess what? This was not the platform that we wanted to do this on, but we felt so heartfelt because I just could not see what I felt today. It was so disrespectful.
It was horrible.
As a woman myself, as a Black woman, well, on some days of the week.
Whatever she picks. So today you Black.
Today I'm Black.
Okay, so go ahead.
As a Black woman myself, and then to hear what I didn't know he had said that, so thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
You weren't about me in my genre.
Yeah.
But you allowed your people to be that ugly to a Black woman.
Just give her and
just give her space for 5 minutes.
When his people came, she said, "Come on, y'all, let's go. Let them have it. Let them have their."
She walked away. Very professional.
That was it.
She said, "Do not stand back. Do not sit. Give him his time."
Let's go.
But he couldn't give that to her. I'm so heartbroken, Cassine.
That was not good.
I'm so heartbroken.
That's your heartbroken face.
That's my heartbroken face. Now, if he becomes mayor, I'm still gonna have a heartbroken face. This is it.
That's it.
But still, laying all jokes aside, we were to the point after we met with Ms. Moore and our moderator. We had a good moderator.
We did.
And
Great.
he asked all of the
Great.
questions that we needed.
Mm-hmm.
We were very pleased with her answers, but we were trying to be fair.
Yeah.
And we were transparent with her, were we not?
Yes, we were.
And so that's why we went down there today. We didn't have a routed up a whole bunch of employees and come down there. We weren't doing that. We're professional. And we wanted to go and give everybody a chance and see what was going on. Now, someone asked me a question. Well, did you give Andre Dickens and Anthony Brown and them an opportunity? Guess what? They've been running for what, 30, 40 days now, 45?
Yeah.
No one has reached out to us. Why should we go reach out to you? You would need our endorsement, not us need yours. Because at the end of the day, whoever becomes mayor still have to deal with employees, whether it's me and you still here or not.
That's right.
So whatever your platform is, and when I listened to some of their issues, you know, when they were talking about their platform, they never once mentioned employees.
No.
Only person that talked about employees was Felicia Moore. Only one that I heard up until now. Mm-hmm. Any conversation she has, she talks about crime. She talks about the citizens.
Talks about everything in entertainment.
And she makes sure she talks about city services. And who does your city services?
We do.
City employees. So at that point, as the leader of this union, I have no choice what my constituents, as my leaders and colleagues say, what did you get into this morning?
Yeah.
Why were you even there? Because they thought that we were there for Kasim Reed.
Yeah, and we was.
They thought, and so that's why I grabbed the sign. You see me when I grabbed the sign? Well, really, I was trying to cover up the COVID. I had my mask on, but I got this sign. I was like, oh, Lord, what is this? That was crazy. So we officially have today on this platform, because of that, and I'm being real with you, the heartburn for me, right, Ebony?
Yes, it is.
Because I kept saying, let's be fair.
Yep.
And let's wait around. But after I saw what I saw, we can't stubborn that heartburn. So folks, you may agree to disagree, but we officially, Pace Union is going to endorse Felicia Moore for mayor. So let's see what's the chat room. Ghetto at its finest. Yes, Felicia Moore. He has always been disrespectful. This is nothing new. Yeah. I heard that about him. I see things. I saw, because I have had the opportunity to work with Mr. Reed very closely, doing the union stuff. And at one time, he seemed to be fair. And then I heard the bullying and the threatening and intimidation behind the doors, but he's never, I've seen him in action on cover, but it wasn't, it wasn't to me, because he called me that. He called me that EMF word. But I think it wasn't to me. It was the other guy that was on the phone. But I was on the phone with him. Yeah, I was an EMF.
It's all about leadership at the end of the day. What type of leadership do we want?
What type of leadership do you really want? It starts from the top.
It starts from the top.
It actually starts from the top. And because the people at the bottom only is guided by the people at the top.
Yep.
And it starts out of that mayor's office.
And if you yelling at me, guess what I'm gonna do to people under me?
Yell at them.
And guess what they're gonna do?
Yell at you.
That's it.
And then we have a problem.
We have a problem.
So our whole genre today, we was going to talk about some other stuff until we got to this point right here. So we're going to talk about this leadership in this campaign. Mm-hmm. We're not going to use this podcast to tell you to go out and vote and do all of that. That's not what this is for. This is for your benefit of knowing what's going on in the city. But this was so hostile to me today that put me. And it's very rare I get caught off guard, but we talked that when we got back in the car, we just was like, wow. If I drank, I'd be drunk right now. Really? So I better get a hold of this liquor right here in this bottle of water.
It was very hot.
I said, Ebony, get my pills, Ebony. I'm stressed out. It was that bad to me.
It was bad.
And we were there. We were standing on the outside. Listen, y'all got to understand. We saw these people gathered up, and I'm like, I ain't going up in there. Next thing I know, pulled us in by the arm. I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm looking up, the cameras in our face. I'm going, where's Felicia? Where's Kasim? What's up? Everybody just ballot. And I said, let me get this doggone shield. Because people
that you thought was your shield,
thought was my shield. Then if you can see me on the thing, I think I turned it around and said, "What am I holding up?" And
I was in the back.
Yeah, you hear. She ran in the back. And when I found her running in the back, I went
She
up there
gonna come
knocking on the
back.
door. I'm knocking on the glass door, the Trinity Street side, and the security guard. Shout out to them too for hanging in there, you guys, doing a wonderful job of securing in that city hall. But they knew me, and when I knocked on the door like this, and he just waved, and, hey, Gina, and he hit the other guy. Look, that's Gina. Hey, Johnson, let me in here. I'm not speaking to you. Help me. But needless to say, we got to have leaders that's going to do the right thing, have transparency.
Definitely.
So let's go to the chat right quick. What is it saying?
It said we need a leadership that is fair and does not have favoritism and no nepotism. Don't hire your family man. Listen, that nepotism is really getting really real, because now I'm seeing it was some issues brought to us with one of the departments that since one of the aunts and one of the mothers has been promoted to higher positions, their family members, close family members, not like cousins or distant, but their close family members now are directly up under them. So that could determine a lot. And they're saying that they've seen behaviors change within the members because, hey, if I don't want to come to work, my mama, what they gonna do? My mama is my boss. So why? What's the point?
It's like that everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. We've getting a lot of complaints about it. So that nepotism has to stop. It has to stop.
But here's the thing is, because some people don't have the same last name.
That's what it is.
And they're not going to say that.
Well, some of them do. I know some of them that do. But even friends hiring friends. I understand you want to bring your friend up. But if you know your friend is not the person for that job.
I learned my lesson. Referring people. I won't do that anymore.
I stopped doing that too.
Because they get in there and show out. And then people look at you because you referred them or hired them.
So you have to just be fair.
And I don't have a problem with you hiring family members as long as they can do the job and meet the criteria.
Yeah, but they should be in the same. It shouldn't be at the same building with you to put you in that situation
or not working under you.
Yeah. So you won't have to make that choice.
And see, in my situation, people look at my family and they know who. Like my daughter, she works for the city.
But they don't work with you.
They're a totally different department.
Yeah, exactly.
But the bottom line is, when they see her, they say, "Is your mama? You look like somebody. You look like Gina Pagnata, because we look just alike." And so we can't hide that.
Yeah,
but we got different names too. But still, that's one of the heartburns. You can't, unless they do some background. Mm-hmm. But I think once they do a background and they find out that you lied, you need to be fired,
because that's in the city. That's in our SOP.
Right. And when you fill out the application, do you have anybody or relative that works for you or works with the city? You're supposed to tell the truth. Transparency. It's not saying that they're not going to hire you because you got a sister or a cousin. They need to make sure that they're not working with you or under you like that.
Yep.
So that's all it is. Just be real. And speaking of transparency and being real, this vaccination policy survey that went out, that's a lot of heartburn with that.
Oh, yes, it is.
That was due on the 16th. That was yesterday.
It was yesterday, Monday. Yeah.
And people were calling us, emailing us. What is the union's take on it? And the union stood natural or neutral. Let's say natural, neutral, because at the same time, we have to represent you if something goes wrong, if something goes sour. So I can't tell you what to do and what not to do. Only thing we can do is guide you. And here's my take on it. We guide you. They send you a survey and they wanted you to fill it out. It was a directive for you to complete it and send it in. But that third eye that I always have, if you read it, you will understand what you're supposed to do. And you make your choice. But here's the caveat. You needed to fill it out and send it in because it was a directive. It didn't tell you how to fill it out.
It said to click to fill it out. And there's a spot on there that says, did you take it? You don't want me to say it?
3.
Did you not take it?
Or
you want to disclose the information? You could pick which one. You didn't have to say, yes, I took it and I'm going to upload my information. You could say, I want to remain anonymous. I don't have to tell
I didn't take it.
And that's you still filling it out. They're going to say that they're assuming you did not take it. But that's okay.
But you followed the directive.
That was the directive.
You sent the form in.
That's it. You got to learn how
Come
to read
on, you
between the
guys.
lines
Read
sometimes.
between the lines.
Yep.
We cannot, because this is so political right now about this
It is.
vaccination stuff.
It is.
And no matter what side you're on, is unfortunately that song, Why Can't We Be Friends? No matter what side, did you take it or you didn't take it,
Yeah.
we shouldn't be fighting and getting into a serious debate of this. And I know people don't trust the city and the loyalty, but the union is always going to try to guide you the right way. And the right way was, if they gave you the directive to send that survey back in on a certain date, send the survey back in on a certain date. You ain't have to answer
You
it.
didn't have to answer. You just
Duh.
fill that piece out, and you did what they asked you to do.
You did what they
That's
asked
it.
you to do.
You did what you were supposed to do.
So we didn't want to go on the posture to say don't sign it, because that would be wrong.
Mhm.
Because you have to follow directive, but you have to use your common sense. They had the questionnaire there, and if you signed it and say I had my vaccine, or if you
Mhm.
sign it and say I didn't have my vaccine, or if you sign it and said I do not want to disclose this information,
It's up
the
to you.
bottom line,
You signed.
you
it.
sent it in,
That's it.
regardless of what you see.
That's it.
So that's why we stayed neutral, because if you did not do what they told you to do, there's a possibility that you might be in trouble. Hold on. I'm having a call from the attorney, so we might be on the wrong end. Hold on just a moment. Hello? Hey? Yes. I'm on the podcast. I thought you saw it. That's okay. We have our
That's
attorney
okay.
on the phone right now. No, I'm not in trouble for what we're saying. Thank you, Miss Cherry. We appreciate you making sure that what we're saying is okay. Bye-bye. So you see, we have a team to say
Yeah, I know
that
what
protects
you're
us
saying.
too. Yeah, because you're right. We
Mhm.
were going to stay neutral. We don't want you to get in trouble. We don't want you to not follow a directive when it comes to filling out paperwork. You just have to be smart. We cannot go, the union will not go online and tell you, don't you sign that.
Mhm.
Now, you don't never have to sign anything. Let's
No,
be clear. Ever
Ever.
have to sign, just like you get pulled over for a ticket. You
They might
really
lock
don't
you
have
up.
to sign
They
that,
might lock you up.
but they might lock you up because you're not following the directive.
They just
You know what I'm
sign it.
saying?
Yeah.
Really, you don't have to sign anything, but the consequence might be something that you need to think about way out.
Yeah.
So, because even if you sign it, it's saying, well, it's not saying you're guilty, but they might lock you up for not following an order.
And that's what it is.
You
That's
know,
what it is.
because you can challenge it in court.
Mhm.
So what we're saying going forward, even down to the vehicle use policy.
Mhm.
Now, the union was able to talk with the department heads and DHR to say, hey, this was not rolled out properly. It wasn't vetted by the union. At least run it by us to see if we had any take on it. The point system, I'm trying to burn up, we'll see what that's about. But I feel that to get people to really feel comfortable signing these documents, why are you not running it by the union? Why aren't you being transparent? We're not trying to hurt the city. We're not trying to hurt the union. We're trying to be fair to both sides, and we're going to protect our members. That's what it's all about. If the city is wrong doing some things, we're going to call you out in protection of our membership. And so with the vehicle use policy, they are now getting ready to have some training or letting people understand and get questions asked, which they should have done in the first place, in my opinion. And they're
you
doing
know
it
what?
now.
Speaking of the policy, so remember that policy we had we didn't mention it on the show last week, but we had a policy, for silent dispatching. That was an issue. I know some of you guys might not. Briefly, real quick. When you guys hear on the air or radio traffic, a police officer, we get a call from 911 side, the dispatcher gives the officer the call, right? Over the air. Everybody hears it. Whoever's got a radio hears it. The sergeant mainly, which is the ones that we want to hear it, and the other officers, because the nature of the call might require for another officer, like, you know what, I'm gonna go with that unit too. So when they wrote this out to say we're not going to do that on certain calls, higher priority calls only are the ones that they want to openly dispatch, but on the smaller scale calls, that's like of abandoned auto, criminal trespass, something like that, they don't want to dispatch that over the air. They didn't. They said you can silent dispatch it. That means just shoot it to the officer's click on whatever you need to click on, type it, and it's just going to send to him. It's going to pop up on his rate on his computer, and then he goes. But nobody hears you give it out because we don't do that, right? Well, there was a situation that happened because of criminal trespass. I've had an officer go on a criminal trespass call, and I didn't hear from him in like a couple of minutes, and I just heard a click. And so I raised the unit. He had got to fighting. This was a while ago. And so something similar happened last week. So they rolled back out. They canceled it. Because I mean, any kind of call that you send those officers out on, you don't know, even on an abandoned auto, there could be somebody sleeping in the back of that car that nobody saw. And then the officer go up there and some people, when they come up out of a sleep, and if they're drunk, even if you're not drunk, you're not completely awakened. So you might get a little hostile. And then all of a sudden an abandoned auto call becomes a help call for an officer. So we should never, I don't think it's in the best interest for us to ever silent dispatch a call, ever, for the officer's safety and the citizen's safety. And then what damage would that do on that dispatcher that you knew that this was a silent dispatch, you didn't give it out? I'm gonna hold that on myself. As you know, that's a lot of pressure for me. Man, if I had only said it out loud, but that was the policy. So some things just, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it.
Well, it's like that through all the city. All the policies are broke.
Yeah.
But let's say this. We've been invited. Pace has been invited. Ebony and I are going to be attending a meeting on the 23rd. I have Ebony with me so she can get to learn some of this stuff and be able to help me dialogue and lobby outside of 911 to other departments. We're meeting with Commissioner Norman and I think Department of Public Works Commissioner Wiggins. They've asked us to come to the table with the other union and just to talk about incentives and morale boosting and vaccinations and and I think it's time. The unions need to be sitting at the table to help department heads figure out how do we do things and what's the right way to incentivize our employees, because we're out there in the field with them. We are workers.
Are the ones that knows. I mean, the ones that actually know. When you vet these policies, the people that actually do the policies, working it, doing the work for the policy, they need to be in the know. The new system we have that they brought to the table, Lord Jesus.
You all wasn't even involved in that.
My gosh, that new system.
Did you even have training on that system?
We had training, but it was sporadic training. So like we knew the system was coming all last year, then COVID hit. When COVID hit, it kind of messed up the training, I guess, for when we could all get together to train and have the classes. And so the classes were sporadic. Then all of a sudden they still had to follow through and bring this on because they was paying for the product And now this thing, it's like I'm a new dispatcher all over again. You can't just click and type and you mess up one thing and then you got an officer still telling you, I don't forgot what he said because I'm the computer. I don't know. They don't know what's going on. It's not. So if they had said, let's do a trial run and see how this works. And if you see you having a lot of problems in other agencies, yes, they are trying it. But when I went to the last class, every agency that said that they've been doing it for a year or two, they still hate it because it's very difficult.
Speaking of hating, I heard about they put on hold the new training building for police.
Oh, yes, they did.
Oh,
I don't know if it's good or bad, but yeah, it is. They put it on hold. They tabled it, the idea. City Council did this past meeting on yesterday. A lot of the citizens they felt that they were slighted. They wasn't involved. And that's all. Just involve people.
Well, they could take some of that money and give us some raise. And speaking of raise, I see in the chat where someone says, can I get a raise, please? Well, I hope we can. Yeah. I hope you can get a raise.
Yes. And speaking of raises, do we want to discuss some of those? We don't want to just middle.
What do you mean? For
that are 8 people that did not receive a raise when the rest of everybody else did for that one department. Not one.
Yes.
You just did.
What are you saying?
I just said it.
I just have somebody on here texting me. You know I can't multitask.
I'm sorry. See how that is? And so how do you expect dispatchers to do all this work that you can't even talk to me and text at the same time? Gina can't even do it.
Because apparently somebody's trying to get in and they're saying something to me on the phone.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead. Let's talk about that. We have we did have this big raise for us as the 911 center. They had this raise, a nice size raise they gave us. But there were a certain amount, about 8 of the employees did not receive that raise because they was already at that raise maxed out. Allegedly. So they did not receive anything. And now their pay scale is the same. Now they've been there 20 plus years. Now the new people are on the same pay scale as them. And so they feel that that's not fair, and rightfully so. They should be able to have gotten something else.
Well,
but it's a lot of
that raise shouldn't have to do anything with where they were at. That was to incentivize them to continue doing a good job. I think they failed that department, failed those young ladies, or who those men and women, 8 people, and we're going to work on getting them that money. Yes. And this is why it's so important that you be a member of this union, because those people are who we're going to fight for. Now, we want to fight for everybody, but if you're not a dues paying member, when I go into that conference room and say, hey, you know, so-and-so needs their money, period, you a member, I cannot specifically talk for you, because as a member, when you pay dues, you're giving me as the president and VP Ebony the authority, authorizing us to speak for you and on your behalf.
But when we don't, we can't speak for
and you. If you're not a member, I can't speak for you. So I'm not sure if all of those 8 people were, but enough of them were, because but it's enough that those folks are going to get their money. I don't care how long. If we have to wait till the new mayor come on board, guess what? If that's what it takes and we get it, it's going to go back. What you call it? Retro pay. And that was in January. So they'll be getting a nice little check, but they need to be paid. This wasn't about a progressive, what do you call that?
And that's how they explained it. It was just to bring the salary up to a comparable amount.
That's not what we were talking about.
No.
We were talking about giving these folks raises like police and fire guys. Yeah. They didn't go by they just and getting another raise. It's time to stop the madness. Stop it. You all are 911. 311, these folks are the lifelines of the city, okay? Before fire and police even get to you. And I love my police and I love my fire. That's who I need to call, come to my house. But when you're not getting the response, how can it get to you? And let's, you know, we weren't going to talk about this now.
I was going to say we weren't going to talk about it.
We weren't going to talk about it today, but because I'm still.
I know.
Y'all know me. If you don't know me, you know me. You're going to get to know me. The thing is, I had my mask on like this, right? I'm standing out there. And I got to show this. I had my mask on. And I'm sitting out there, but my mouth was so like this. With my mask on.
So come on up here with me. I'm not coming up there.
I wasn't hollering nothing. I was holding my breath. I was like, because I was like, what is... Nobody with masks, and y'all done put me in. I couldn't get out. I was freaking out. But I never been in no mess like that. Y'all got to understand. I was traumatized.
Obviously,
I was traumatized.
But like
I'm gonna
be
said, tonight talking about. I'm gonna be at home tonight talking about. We got to incubate. I mean, not incubate. What you call it? What's the word?
I don't know, Gina. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Not incubate.
I don't know what you're
isolate. What they call it?
Oh my gosh.
Say incubate. I mean, isolate. I'm gonna put myself quarantine
yourself.
How long it take? I'm scared.
Oh Lord, I don't know.
I'm making a joke out of it because that ain't funny when it comes to the vaccine and stuff. But we gotta be mindful, y'all. We gotta have some quality leadership up in that White House. Lord have mercy. I said the White House. I know y'all see I'm PTSD right now.
She doing something.
We got to have some quality leadership. We got to have some leadership, and you know. So let me see. Tell you what, I get in a text that says the topic is relevant. This person seeming they can't get into, and I'm not on my other phone, so I'm gonna call this person. I'm gonna text this person. Do you?
Why they can't get in?
No, I think they don't want to say. Do you feel comfortable texting, or do I need to call? Because I want to know what they're talking about.
Okay. So back to the raises for the 911 side. But everybody, just like we was talking about I forgot who it was, one of the reps, I think we were discussing that We don't, 911 don't get a raise every time police get a raise. We don't.
Mhm. But they want y'all to
but we
follow.
were under, that's what I was just
Go
about
ahead
to
and tell
say.
it.
But we still fall up under the authority of police. So if we get in trouble,
So
we
they
go through
say.
the OPS process and everything. But we're not sworn. We're not police.
Y'all
So
civilians.
we're civilian. If we were, then we should be getting a raise every time police get a raise. I mean, we do the same job anyway. As far as
You don't do the same
not
job.
the same job. We do the phone call.
You
We
do
don't
the
see.
best. You do
We
the
do the
most
first
job.
part of the job. We don't see it, but we visually imagine what they're saying on the phone. We hear it. The young lady that was kidnapped last week, and they found her. You know, the end result wasn't good, right?
Right.
So the young man that took the call, the next day when he found out, he didn't do well. He had to go. He had to go home that night. It was over on morning watch. So I mean, that stuff affects. And the whole point of being classified is just so that we have access to the same things that police do. They can have access to all the mental health stuff. We need that. That's one of the main things that we need access to. That's all. We work when the holidays, we there too. If they there, we're at work. Police don't work without us. We all together. No, we're not considered. We're considered. No, Tamara, we're not. We're not considered that at all. We're just, they call us, we're under public safety, but we're still not considered to be classified as, I can't even think about it now, Gina. You got me thrown off.
Oh, wow.
What?
I just got a text from an undisclosed person.
Okay.
That said the mayor's office called around to bully people to fill out the form. That is so sad. What did
allegedly?
Allegedly.
Okay.
Because this is a third party person. Allegedly. Yes. I'm getting texts coming in, y'all. So I'm getting texts.
That's something.
The city runs like a modern day mafia.
No, we're not considered sworn officers at all. No,
we need leadership that is transparent and not willing to cover up for their friends in high places. Absolutely, yes. Texter. The city runs like a modern day mafia, and so I'm like, when we was at that meeting today, I was like, I mean, you know, this morning, that's what it felt like. Yeah. I was being bullied and people were pushing. I'm like, oh my God, let me take the wheel, Jesus. Take the wheel. So get me out of here. And Ebony, you just run. You ran all in the back.
I went to the back and
you
stayed
left your
there.
President
I
hanging out there.
Listen, you wanted to be in the front. I like to stay in the back.
I didn't want to be. They pushed me in the front.
She wants to be in the front. Let her have the front. I'm good on the back side of stuff. You don't have to know my name.
Hold on. This person says I have a receipt. Oh,
they have a receipt. Show me the receipt.
So then. It ain't allegedly.
So show me the receipt. I'm just playing. I don't want to see the receipt.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I'm just saying it on the air, Gina. That's all.
I don't care if this is our podcast. I can say I want to see the receipt.
The mafia. We finna shut it down.
Well, you know, I told y'all. Listen here.
Uh-oh.
Did I not tell you Watershed back in the day was the New Jack City? Did I not tell you that?
Yes, you did. Yes,
and at one point, the city is running like a mafia.
It's all about who you know. That's all. It's who you know.
Listen. I'm just hopeful that pretty soon, you know, we are, and this one said they tell you if you see something, say something, but that depends on who you are saying something about it. That's right. That is exactly right. Okay. All right. Let's see something here. I just received a call to notify me that we are not in compliance. It should go out, send this off, and needs to fully comply. If you had okay. All right. So let me say this again. Let me say this to you guys out there. Okay. Because we're getting calls and texts coming in. So this is why we wanted to stay on the 2:30. I knew this was going to happen. So bear with us. Again, that was our attorney, you know, telling us that, you know, because the union went to our legal counsel and asked, can the city do this? And unfortunately, she's unable to be on live on air. I wish I could get her in to talk to us. But can we let's see. Hold that thought. Let me see. Let me give Miss Rita Cherry a call and see if she would like to come on air. We can't put her up right now because we didn't have this plan, but maybe she can talk and you can hear. Because I want you guys to follow a directive, but I want to make sure that you understand that you answer how you feel, but follow the directive. Get those documents in, get that survey in, so you won't feel. Hello, Miss Cherry. This is President Pagnata, and I'm having a lot of barrage of texts are calling in about the survey. And I know we can't bring you on the line right in where they can see you talk, but would you like to share from, because we talked about this, where I can put you on speakerphone, and I'm thinking they'll be able to hear, just briefly letting them know what we talked about, following directive versus not following directive. Okay, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen out. Miss Rita Cherry, who is Pace Legal Counsel, and we discussed this heartburn, and I hope you can hear, but she's going to give you the take on it. Go ahead, Miss Cherry.
Okay. What I understand is that on August 16th, the city, on August 4th, the city requested that all city employees complete a self-certification survey disclosing your vaccination status. And I understand that that survey was to be completed online on or before August 16th. There have been many questions as to whether employees have to complete the survey. And the answer is yes. The city has given a very clear directive for its employees to complete the survey. And so therefore, the employees are required to do so. I further understand that on the survey questionnaire, there's different boxes that you can check, either disclosing your vaccination status or declining to do so. Whether you do so or not, that's completely your decision. That is information that you should consult with your physician about. You should examine your own inquiries about that. But in terms of completing the survey, it's a requirement for all employees from the city of Atlanta. And yes, it has to be completed. And also we received some questions with regard to HIPAA rights. And HIPAA does not prohibit an individual from disclosing their own health-related or medical information.
Okay.
So, Gina, I hope that answers the question. If there's anything else, I'm here to take any questions.
Well, one of the, not so much the question as a statement, and we talked about this. Understand, if you all are hearing me without hearing me, what we're saying to you is fill out the survey and send it back in to follow that directive. How you fill it out is up to you. Let me say that again. As long as you have resubmitted your survey, you have met the directive and the requirement of what the city wanted. How you fill it out is up to you. That's all I need to tell you. I hope you follow my directives. Miss Cherry, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I hope that answers everyone's questions. That was our legal counsel. And of course, this is why, I just want to be fair. And we're not never here to go against the city to put your job in jeopardy. And I always, when I get to a point where I don't know the answers, I have resources because we have a regional office, and we do have an assigned regional legal counsel. And Miss Cherry, ironically, used to work for the city of Atlanta. She was one of the attorneys for the city of Atlanta. Whatever reason, her departure, we took her. So she's a very welcome employee for our union. And so I always go to her because she looks at both sides of the things. And I'm going to repeat this one more time, and we're going to leave it at that. If you have not done your survey, PACE is asking you to complete your survey, submit that survey, even though you may be late. It was due yesterday, but complete the survey. But they have 3 boxes to check.
3 boxes.
How many? 3. One says, yes, I'm vaccinated. One says, no, I'm not vaccinated.
And the other one
And
says,
one says,
I'm
I'm
not
not
gonna
going to give you that answer.
That's right.
Let me repeat that one more time. One says,
Yes.
I'm vaccinated.
Mhm.
Two says,
No,
I'm not vaccinated. And three says,
you don't need to know.
fill your form out, send it in.
That's it. That's simple.
You made that direction, the directive, and you complied.
That's
Now, after that is where the union will step in, depending on what they're going to do with that information.
Mhm.
And we now remember, this is not only the city of Atlanta, this is nationwide. This is some stuff going on about this vaccines, about this Delta variant, about the COVID is beyond anybody's control. And we are following some of the CDC guidelines according to
Now, one question is here saying, what is the purpose of the survey? I'm not
oh, she said, I got something that says, one says I'm partially vaccinated. Not
yeah,
that
that's
I don't
another
know.
one. Yeah.
Okay, but still.
Either way, it's still.
Hold up. Let me say this. Because I got to get the monkey out the room. Thank y'all in the chat. I said, where I get the monkey from?
I don't know. You just, and you was finna fuss at me and say I wasn't saying something right.
Okay, elephant out the room.
Mm-hmm.
Thank y'all for these chats. Thank y'all for these texts to keep me on point. You're right. I made a mistake. But my point was because you couldn't see it and read it. But here's my point. So let me be a little bit more, get the elephant out the room. Sign the survey. Send it in. And if those three doesn't meet your requirements, what you supposed to do?
Nothing. Ain't nothing you can do.
But just sign it and send it in.
That's it. That's it. And the purpose of it is just for them to know the different statuses, whether they get it or not. Look, crazy.
Look, I gotta say this. This. You got 3 boxes because Texas is still coming in. One box says I'm vaccinated. Mm-hmm. One box says I'm not vaccinated. And I was just corrected. One box says I'm not fully vaccinated.
And then you have another box in because it says I do not want to answer. I decline to answer. So you have 4 boxes.
Yeah, you ain't got to sign none of them. But anyway, just sign the form and send it in.
That's it.
Just meet the requirement. Open it up and then send it back.
Send it back. No matter how you.
I got to tell y'all how to do everything. Come on, people.
That's it. I don't know the purpose. In the beginning of the year, they said that it was not mandatory that you take the vaccination. They was letting you sign up, getting it for free. Now all of a sudden, it's not mandatory we take the vaccination. Now it's mandatory that I respond to you if I took the vaccination. I don't know.
See, all of this, understand now, being a little serious, all of this is new for everybody. It's even new for the unions. I mean, even in our national, we having some internal stuff about it. Everybody is afraid. Everybody's just trying to do, we don't know where it's going. 1 minute the shots is working. 1 minute the shots ain't working. 1 minute you need a booster. 1 minute now the children are affected.
Now it's the Delta.
Now you got a laboratorial variant coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Some are dying this way. Some are dying this unvaccinated.
People have been fully vaccinated and still dying.
We don't know. It's an uncertainty out there. That's why the union is trying its best to stay neutral and partial out of this, because we don't know. We don't have the resources to rely on to go and say, what as a union do we guide our folks to do?
And we definitely don't want to tell you wrong. And then it turns out that they're right. And we definitely want to tell you this way. That turns out that this is not right. Because then we can't in the middle. We
don't want to ever lead you in a wrong direction. Mm-hmm. But if you can read between some lines, sign the form, just send it.
Just send it back.
Just send it back.
When I opened it up, I said, "Oh, that's the thing." And then they have on the top, if you sign here, we're going to automatically assume. I can't help but to assume.
Hey, but guess what? When I opened it up, I was like, gone, because I'm gonna stand by what I feel I need to stand by. I'm gonna stand by what is best for Gina. And I'm going to try to do the right thing, and I'm going to try to guide you guys. All I can tell you right now, stay masked up, whether you've been vaccinated fully or not. Stay masked up. Keep your hands washed, which you should be doing anyway.
Stuff we should be doing.
And ladies, and even men, when you go to the gas pump, Get you some gloves, because now I'm wearing a glove because
Yes.
wherever you think
People digging their
people
nose.
are doing.
I see men all the time digging their
Don't
nose
get
when
too
they be
close to your
driving.
nose,
I'm
though.
just saying. They just digging their nose, and then they go and get out their car and grab a gas pump. And that stuff is all up in your nose hairs, they say. It's all up in there. So be careful. People cough and
that's
hand.
that, and that's why it's important.
Now you all in your nose. Just move your hands so close to your nose.
It's following you. But they say it goes through your hair, nose, and nostrils when you breathe it in, because it's viral. Not so much as your mouth, unless you put your fingers in your mouth, which you touch. But when you're breathing in, it goes in the nose and through your
lungs,
bronchial tubes into your lungs. So that's why they said make sure you have that mask on correctly. You have it on, make sure you pinch right here, and you want this part definitely of your nose covered, and make sure that that bottom part is over your chin. And if it's not so working, wrong.
You had it all. You had yours all up.
Well, hold up. Let me do
now
this
you're
right.
a mask connoisseur.
So the
double up.
Look, or just turn it like that
and tighten
it up. I learned that from my grandchildren. And make sure this part is closed and this part is snug, because you don't want anything getting into this region, especially. Okay, that's where you breathing. Now, also with your hands, can go in your eyes and can do everything. Keep your hands clean.
Out your face.
Keep a little small bottle of sanitizer lotion in your purse, in your pocket, and every time I think about it, I just rub it in anything. And wear some gloves that goes head. Look, it's so now I can breathe better. I don't wear this mask so long. It's like without the mask, I don't feel right. No, it doesn't feel right. But anyway, so my point is, you guys, we don't know what's going on with this vaccine. So let's see what's in the chat, because I'm getting blowed up here.
And say you tell a certain person you're gone, there's a lot of underhanded stuff that is done, and when it's brought out, certain employees are dismissed or bullied.
Yes, that's called whistleblowing.
That's true.
That is a federal offense. If we get you, if we can catch you, anybody retaliating from someone and fire them because they spoke out, and we have a case right now.
Yes, we do.
With our one of our executive board members
yes,
was terminated. They said it was because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to have been doing, but it was ironically it was done after
after something happened,
something that we made
exposure. Yes.
So but please believe the union is still working on this, but we're doing it our way. Okay. So at the end of the day, we're talking about the vaccine policy. But listen, going forward, members, anytime you get a survey and you're uncomfortable, you can call me or Ebony, email me or Ebony, or contact our union office, and we'll get that answer. But we want to make sure you follow the directive so there won't be any repercussions, and then we have to come back and represent you. You don't have to sign anything. But let me make this clear. Surveys and disciplinary actions is two different things. If you call into an office and they want to serve you some papers, you ain't got to sign that. You need your union rep. But if it's a survey coming out from the full city of the mayor's office or DHR, and they're asking you to fill this out and give you a deadline, and they tell you it's mandatory, you do need to fill that out.
Let's read this last question.
Okay.
As far as the raises for the 8 communications employees who were omitted, has there been any meetings or response from the police chief?
Oh, no response from the police chief as of yet.
No.
We are doing, I did reach out to somebody, didn't I?
You did.
Who was that? I sent an email.
You never sent that email.
Yes, I did.
Did you send
Yes, I did.
We spoke to him in person, remember?
I think it was Rodney, the HR person.
You sent him.
Oh, I sent that email with, yes, I did. But
not, I'm talking about, you actually spoken to the chief.
About those 8 people.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I thought I did, but I just
to his face.
Yes, I just talked to our regional office, and we're going to file a complaint. So for those out there, we're not going to talk anymore. This is time for a formal complaint to get those persons what they rightfully do. So just hang in there. And once we get this approved, it will be retro from when you guys, everybody else got theirs. So hang in there. What's the one above?
Critical thinking is a lost art form.
Critical thinking is do you understand what that means? Critical thinking.
Critical thinking is a lost art form. Yeah.
Because people don't have critical thinking.
No, they don't. They just do. They don't sit down and figure the whole thing out and the whole scope, everything. Critical thinking. Nobody does that anymore. They just
Okay, so what was the purpose of the survey? Well, let me give you a take from what Mr. Norman, that I reached out to him, said. It's not to try to isolate who's been vaccinated or not. It's wanting to do a survey of what the herd of our working population looks like as far as vaccination. Now, I don't never pat myself on the back, but a while ago, before Delta came out, remember I said I sent an email to Commissioner Norman about doing a survey some months ago when we were coming back into work before they do transition to do a survey, something they called a monkey. That's where I got that monkey out the room, because I said the monkey survey. Okay. We were talking about that. Okay. And so that you don't get no the something they call the monkey survey. And when they, and what we wanted to know was when it had to bring people back into work, what is our working force going to look like? What's our working population? Will you be returning to work, or are you going to retire, or whatever you're going to do? Remember I asked that. I remember. Well, they didn't do it like that. They came out with, and then have you been vaccinated?
And then it was a whole, they never, it's the many ideas that have been brought to the table by PACE, they do a piece of it, but not in the form that was brought to them. And when they do it that way, it comes out wrong.
Comes out wrong, and it makes it their own.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to give us props.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
But then they end up coming back because,
and like now, coming back after they ball
for next weekend about the.
But that's just for one department. That one department that they're being. I got to give it to them. That's one department to say, you know what, this is not working the way we need to work. Let's bring in the union. So I got to give them props. But the other departments, like definitely 911. Oh my God! Who was that clap for? The department.
That was for the department. Without somebody saying anything.
All right. Well, that's good claps for the Department of Public Works without me having to ask. They asked me to the table, and that means a lot. So hopefully for that department, we can get a lot of productive work done for those employees. But ironically, I asked for Commissioner Norman to do this.
But I thought he did he started to look. What happened to
that? I did a drink. Lord, hold on. Let me get some liquor.
Water is not going to do it. It's not going to do it. It's not going to do it, Gina. But I thought that's what happened. He was bringing PACE to the table.
He's bringing PACE to the table for Department of Public Works. He was supposed to have been bringing PACE to the table for the entire city. Because I kept telling him all of the issues that we had, all of the heartburn that I had, and the gray areas in this legislation in the code. It's so much gray areas about time and attendance, when to take vacation, how many days you can be out without bringing a doctor's note, how do you discipline, who is essential, who is not essential, when do we get raises, how does the evaluations work, when are you going to
I had somebody tell me the other day, don't put this on my evaluation because I get paid by this. We haven't gotten any raises on them evaluations. Them evaluations hadn't, to my knowledge, determined whether or not we've gotten a raise. Now it's in the city code that it's supposed to. But nobody, have your department do they get raises because of that evaluation?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, I haven't.
Well,
now, and the city just doesn't operate across the board. Everybody that's civilian get 5 minute grace period, right?
Pretty much.
We don't.
See, that's the point. Why is no consistency?
We don't, and that's the whole purpose to bring PACE to the table, to make sure that all the departments are consistent. And what you need to do is not only you need somebody that's overseeing that these departments are working according to the policies and procedures that have been set forth. They are set forth for a reason.
Who police the police? Okay, let's go to some of the chat. We have a question. We have a statement in the chat box. It's saying they need the information in the event the vaccine becomes legislated as a mandate to have. True. And that's what we need to be waiting on. That's why I say, go ahead and send that survey in. It doesn't matter. It matters if you don't want your information exposed or tell, but you still need to send that information in. And we need to know, because they may come out. We don't know what the city is going to come out with.
Because a lot of people are mandating that you take it or you lose your job.
The city always, and then it says, we are in phase 3 again, and City Hall teleworkers were sent home, but satellite teleworkers are still asked to report. We only get raises if we steal them, like the people at the top. She got the elephant out the room. But listen, you're right. Let's chat about that for a minute. Teleworkers going back to phase 3. That is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. And then I heard that the air condition went out at City Hall.
So they wasn't prepared to go to
you
work.
are not prepared to bring these people back to work.
So maybe they should have checked the building.
You're not.
How did you not know that? I don't know.
City Hall, you're not ready to bring these folks back to work. Leave these people home for a minute. I mean,
and if we go back to phase 3, so we were supposed to be in what phase? What were
4 or 5.
4 or 5. So we went back to phase 3. They're gonna give us our FFCRA time back?
Nope. It was told. I asked that question. Nope.
I know that. I'm just
nope.
asking.
No, they're not. And that's
because we city workers. I mean, us as communications, and then you have your garbage people, and you have sanitation. They have to report to work because they have to pick up the trash. We're still putting ourselves at risk.
Yes,
so if we get sick, and we just had one that's fully vaccinated, had COVID, she's not getting out on any COVID time with that?
Nope. I mean, well, the
ones that you already had, but I'm saying we're not getting any new.
No, we don't hear about
catching COVID.
We don't hear nothing no more about what the city is doing on this. All we hearing is send this form in, do the survey, or you gonna get disciplined.
Okay,
that's the problem.
I just said.
What did chat say? They don't
we
care.
Don't
Gina.
have no. They don't care. So they have offices, so they don't deal with the public. They wear their Gucci suits and sit back and look cute. So the employees don't matter to them. We don't have no air. I work on the 9th floor, and I'm a thick chick, and baby, no air and wearing a mask is tough.
Oh Lord Jesus! Oh my God! Look. You talking about you a thick chick? I'm a big girl, and I'm already burning up, sitting right here next to this thing right here.
I got on a suit jacket and the shirt and this.
Well, I understand your pain, and I don't sweat. I have a deficiency in my sweat glands. You don't sweat either. No wonder we like this right here. Except you don't have a third eye.
No,
I got to give you a third eye.
I had one on my foot. Third out my foot.
So next week we're gonna put a dot right there so you have a third eye.
Yeah,
but anyway, City Hall.
That's dangerous though.
City Hall. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, that's too much.
City Hall. Y'all ain't ready. Leave these people home. Yeah. What is the heartburn bringing these people back to work
if the city,
like that? If you're functionable, we've been functionable for 18 months.
Now this, I just said this question that if city does not implement phase 3, if the city does implement phase 3, are there any talks of reinstating hazard pay for essential employees? Again, that's what we were just saying. That's what I was just saying. They haven't.
I've already reached out to them. So far, they said no.
Yeah,
they don't have the money.
But it's federal money.
They don't have the money.
Is it? Okay. I just was asking.
Allegedly.
I don't know. I just was
They don't have the money.
Okay.
But Pace had already sent our suggestions. They overlook them. They don't care.
She said when they go home, I left so quick. How can you sit in a building with no? But you know what? Just the buildings period around the city. When our air go off, it's like,
listen, you guys don't even have your
we don't have plexiglass.
Right? You don't even have your plexiglass up yet.
No. You just brought it up to our new director, so maybe they'll get.
What they talking about going through OEM? Oh Lord, going through Deem, OEM, whatever it is. Man, call Granger and get some plexiglass. It ain't that much.
We mentioned the COVID. Yeah, we had mentioned it all together.
What was it saying
about COVID time? They said they must have missed that part. Yeah, they didn't mention. It was brought up. Even city council brought it up to the HR department about reinstating because their concern was some of the workers, like garbage workers, that go out and not only are they just risking themselves for COVID, but for snakes in the area, different places like that. That seems to be a hazard too.
And mosquitoes love me.
Me too.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
Sweet. They like me because I'm this chocolate.
Oh, you are dark chocolate. That's semi-sweet. You that sweet. That bitter chocolate.
You the bitter chocolate.
I'm caramel.
You're not caramel.
Pecan, baby.
Well, you are not.
Yes.
White chocolate.
Please.
I don't like the white chocolate. The
That-
white chocolate
I'm
is like
white
white
chocolate.
gravy. It ain't right.
I'm white chocolate on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm black chocolate. I'm caramel. You don't know
As
what's
soon as
going
I
to come
walk
out of me.
outside, the mosquitoes
Look.
just start attacking.
They love it. Look, somebody said, we only get raises if we steal them. City Hall is treated like they're special, but they got money to pay all these top heavy salaries and all these thieves stealing in. I ain't gonna say the other word, but it's a 4-letter word. Absolutely,
That's what they just thought about because they just got those raises.
Who did? Well, the city council
City
did.
council did.
We missed that.
We did.
I could beat myself up. I missed that.
I didn't miss it, but I mean,
I missed it. It was too late. But pandemic, because y'all know me. I'm in your face type of person. This technology and all of this, I barely, that's why I thank God for Ebony, because I wouldn't be able to reach out to you guys like this the way we are for Ebony.
Don't seem like you skipped the beat to me.
Look, you forgot to clap for yourself. But if it wasn't for Ebony, because of the fact I'm just not that computer literate. Now, once I can see what you're doing and tell me to do it, it's gone. All she do is tell me, Gina, here's where you do. Be on there and speak. Sometimes. Oh, yeah, well. Anyway, I've been asking for people out there in podcast land, if y'all got some AIM background or what you call the Instagram or computer literate to help Ebony help us out to get better. Because I would like to see, what I would like to see us, so we getting really deep. You guys, thank you. Tell them about subscribing before I go on. I like that.
Make sure to hit the little bell in the corner on your YouTube channel that say subscribe. That's all you have to do. Just say subscribe. Click it. And then it's going to give us more followers. And every time my show comes on, it's going to alert your phone. Hey,
yeah,
Radio Connections with Pace is on. Go ahead and log on and watch it.
Right.
That's it.
Click and subscribe. Yes.
Subscribe. Wait till the end of this show, though.
Yeah, wait till the end. And guess what? And so our people are coming on. We're getting more and more and more hits. And we appreciate you guys. And that's what makes this podcast. That's what makes us get together every Tuesday.
And scared of my food.
And we didn't eat the food today. But and scared of each other because she been, vaccinated. And I'll be up here scared. That's why I was scared of that meeting today.
Did she look scared to you?
Wait till I go home by myself tonight. I'll be sitting up at the river this, and I'll be like, "Oh God, Father, please cover me." And so we got something. There are employees that are working full time, and some are not. It's not equal or fair. Everyone should be able to hybrid, equal rights for all employees, which could be an HR issue or legal. You're right. You are definitely right. And we are come the 23rd of this month. We will be talking with Department of Human Resources about this. It is right. I mean, why make someone come in when they can do their job at home? We're not saying indefinitely, because some people would love to come in. I like to come in when I feel comfortable and safe, because I want to eyeball certain things that I have to do, and I have a staff. But right now, we've been doing our job the way we can get it done and haven't missed a beat. We haven't missed a beat. And extra hours. And to me, I get a lot more done. Be honest with you. I get a lot more done at home than I'm at that job, because you don't have that many interruptions.
You're right.
You don't have that many. The problem comes.
But you don't have children either.
I got children.
Your grandbabies.
I got a grown husband that act like a baby to get on my nerve. Jana. I had to shut the door on him. But the thing is, the bottom line is, when people work from home, we're not looking to do this entirely because we want to get out. You get cabin fever.
Yeah.
But if an employee asks you, can I hybrid? And this is my schedule. And you didn't have no problem in the beginning with that. Let them do it. Yeah. Why would you force somebody to come in?
Yeah.
And you as a leader, you don't have to be there like that either. Because some of y'all ain't there anyway.
Yep.
Just playing that field. But you just shouldn't have to make your line supervisors and your line managers make them come in every day. Come on, people.
Not if they don't have to be there.
No.
And this whole year has shown you that everybody's job does not require a physical presence at the actual site. So.
Okay, I got somebody saying, get back on phase 3 and why we back in the building. Okay, well, I'm just telling you, I'm trying to fuss at them now. For those out there that's listening, tell them to go back and look at our podcast. If you missed this podcast live, you can always go back and stream it and see it. And this is why we did an extra 30 minutes today, because we were getting a lot of people that's engaging now. And we want you to be heard. We want to answer the questions that you have as much as we can. So at this point of the game, we want to be heard. We're speaking for you. And in City Hall, let's stop. You went backwards. So let's bring these people back.
Go back, go all the way back.
Go all the way back and wait.
Go back to bringing the people back. Go back to bringing the hazard of pay back. Go back to bringing the sick time back, because they're still getting sick.
And if you don't bring the hazard pay back, if you don't give the cop, do the right thing and let these folks go back into teleworking.
But for those that can't go back, you do need to
you got to give them some incentive,
because we're going. It's not a point of if you are. It's not a point of those that get it or if you get it. It's when we get it, because everybody's probably going to catch this at some point. If you haven't already, you're probably going to get something, whether your symptoms are high or not. You're going to catch something. So it's when it happens. Our job should be a little more. Give us the COVID time or something.
They say they want you
so they can bully you. They want you to do the work.
They want you at work so they can bully you, and they want you to do their work. Absolutely.
I believe so, Tamara.
Absolutely.
So.
Now another caller says, yep, I have no interruptions at home. And you know what's another thing? I get a lot more done, because even if I get off at 6:30, my schedule's 10 to 6:30, right? When I get off at 6:30 and I still see I got some work I can do and I ain't doing nothing, I still working. I'm not asking for overtime. I'm just
that cuts down on overtime when you're working from home. Because you still working.
Hell, I'm using my own electricity.
Yeah.
Am I in
that's another issue.
Oh, yeah. I ain't charging y'all to use my cable bill. You know, I ain't charging you that for my Wi-Fi. So, you know, you ought to give me something.
What
they say now?
Certain employees within the municipal courts of Atlanta have been working from home for years. Well, years back.
You know what? Speaking of municipal court, let me get that back to you, because I want to say this right here. I feel like when the commissioner who you are paying six-figure does work, does town hall meetings from his study at home, we all should be able to do something.
Isn't that funny, though?
A town hall meeting from a lounge chair.
While y'all sitting in the mud.
Look, y'all out here laying back. With the remote. Here go the remote, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about anybody got something else to say. Questions are on the floor now. You all be safe. You hear? See you next month.
Put the covers back over.
Okay. So the bottom line is when we talk about municipal court, you know, we had some couple of people that's having some issues in municipal court.
Yes.
And I am so glad that a couple of people reached out to PACE to want to unionize and become a part of our union at municipal courts. I looked at the structure of the new hire packet, and in the new hire packet for new employees, they had everything, and it was an outline how the City of Atlanta org chart was. I did not know, and this is something real curious, City Council, the mayor's right here, and across from the mayor and come down is City Council, right? Well, the City Council is right there. Yeah. But under the City Council, they're not aligned to anybody else but finance and law and all of that. I didn't know, and HR, I didn't know all of that. They answer the City Council.
HR.
They answer, law department, the finance department. They're directly under City Council.
That's why they own them so much.
This is something out of 20 years. I didn't know that till I finally saw that chart. Now, all the department heads and the COOs answers directly to the mayor. Municipal court is over here like a standalone.
No, but who they answer to, the mayor too?
That I need to find out, because I saw no line
that they are. So
cross to the mayor. I need to figure that out. So this is why they do what they want to do and how they want to do things on their own. And municipal court employees,
that's probably why.
And you hear PACE is coming there. We're coming in there. Stand still. Stand down. We're coming to you. We're going to get you. We're going to help you. Did I say that? Donald Trump?
You sound like when he said
I said stand down.
He said,
let me retake that back. Retract that back. Stand still there. We're coming. Give me a call. Give Ebony a call. Email us. Get some membership. Get those applications. You are welcome to join this union. And we'll send you an application. We're just trying to, you all will know, if it wasn't for pandemic, I'd be at those. I'd be to you. But right now we do visual, virtual, whatever we need to do, but become a member. So, we're coming to help you as much as we can. Thank you for that. I also want to talk real quickly on oral admonishments when we're talking about being
Every
consistent.
week.
Let me tell you something.
Week,
One of the
every week.
heartburns I've had is being consistent through all of this oral admonishments. Some departments have them in the supervisor's file for 30 days, 90 days. Some departments, like your department, talking about forever.
A year, I think it was a year.
Where did they come up with that? No, she said forever.
Really?
It was forever. There's no oral admonishment and no personnel file for no ever. Come on. Forever, ever. Ever. Are they forever, ever don't know what they talk about? Forever, ever.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as an oral admonishment in your personnel
And was
file
that
forever,
management that
ever.
said that?
You was on the call.
I just wanted to know.
So these are some of the things that we need to discuss, because an oral admonishment is just what it is. And then you have a written oral admonishment. You have up to 3 times if you choose to do an oral admonishment on one thing. Each oral admonishment needs to be a separate incident. And that's another thing that pisses me off. How are you going to write somebody over 5 different infractions? That's not a progressive step of discipline. But people are doing it and getting away with it. Leadership don't know how to manage their people and don't know the rules and regulations. And this is where I got to get with Commissioner Norman. Your HR people need
Have
to
a
know.
good one, Tamara. We understand. We know. Have a good one.
Thank you
gotta
for
go.
being there.
Gotta
Is
go.
it time
Thank
to go?
you. Yes, it is.
Oh, we got 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Well, listen.
Make it quick. Did your phone freeze? Did my computer freeze? No,
Have
go
a
ahead.
good. Listen, you guys will be here next Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed our
Yes,
podcast.
they do. HR complies right along with every. We ain't
They
gonna
don't
say
think
it.
on their own.
That's okay.
But
Let's-
next week, I'm sure after this podcast, it's gonna be a lot said.
yes,
So we will be ready.
yes.
So that you got to chime
Oh,
up.
you didn't
just like
say
this.
it. You didn't
Okay,
say
well, while I
it.
close out, you chime up.
You
But
close
listen,
out with that.
okay. As we end this show, we hope that we've been a beacon of hope to some and able to shed some light to you all. Tune in next week as we continue to fight the good fight and be a part of bringing the good back to this city. And listen, we're here every Tuesday from 1 to 2, God's will. Y'all try to be safe.
Don't
stay
hang up.
safe.
I got something to show to y'all at the end, though.
Yeah, don't hang up. What
I
that
mean,
mean?
don't click off.
Don't click off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't click off.
don't click off. But we're gonna end the
Tell me
show.
what
with
y'all
don't click
think.
off. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
What you want me to do?
I want you to play.
This?
Woo! We ready for the fight, y'all. We gonna fight coronavirus. We gonna fight Delta variant.
And
We gonna fight everything. We gonna fight for the mayor, Felicia Moore for mayor.
Y'all have a good one. And remember, you can share this episode. Visit our website at https://paceatlanta.wixsite.com at website. That's a lot. We're going to send a link. But if you have any issues within your department, please let us know. Send us an email, call us. You know how to get in touch with us.
Yes.
If you need to reach out to EAP, if you need that number from us, if you can't find it again, we can get it for you. But until next time, y'all, have a good one.
Be safe, y'all.
And thank you guys for listening.
See you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, have a good one.